Thought I'd give you a sneak peek before we jump in the nitty gritty. We'll have a full reveal at the end. Let's look at the exploded view of the sign. There are 4 layers to the sign comprised of 6 major parts. First off is the sign face. This is made from 3mm matte black acrylic, the same material that the rest of the frame is made from. The SpaceX logo has been cut out so the light can illuminate the internals of the logo. The next part is a white 2mm translucent backing. This is to diffuse the LED lights to help soften the harshness of the light source and a surface for the logo's P to adhere to. Otherwise the P wouldn't have a black center. The internal housing is on the same layer as the translucent backing and is used to help align it with the sign face, also creating footings for the support mounts for the removable backing to screw onto. The light source is LED light strip that is going to be stuck down by 3M double-sided tape on the internal walls of the sign. The sign side panels will lock into the internal housing and create an internal light box for the LED lights to be applied to. This in theory should create a light box with no light leakage. Finally, the sign backing will be removable, so we'll have countersunk holes so the screws sit flat and 2 keyhole mounting points. Now you can see how the sign comes together. We'll show you how I made the mounting supports for the sign backing to be screwed onto. In the design process of the sign, I did a few tests of the support mounts to hold the backing. There's 2 things I noticed when testing which I altered in the final design. The first thing I changed didn't really need to be changed, but it's going to help in the gluing process. This change was to make a ledge for the legs to slot into, making it easier to glue instead of being stuck on the outside. The second change I needed to make was to make the supports taller. We needed to increase the depth so the switch could fit on the side wall of the sign. Here are the supports I showed you earlier. I'm just peeling off the protective coating on the acrylic. Next I need to heat up the thread insert to make sure it can be pushed in easily into the acrylic. I'm using a soldering iron to do this. And I'm using a blade to push the thread onto the soldering iron so I don't burn my sausage fingers. Well, that's what my wife calls them. Yes, it's a bit silly to do this over a cutting mat. As you can see, I just melted it slightly there. And once they're heated, you can easily just press them flush into the acrylic. Next thing we need to do is glue the 2 legs on. I made a little jig to help with the gluing and to make sure the legs are square when they're drying. This didn't go as planned. I had to pull the pieces out to glue them as it was a bit hard whilst they're in the jig, but I put them back in the jig to dry, so it all turned out okay. As you noticed, I'm wearing gloves. It sucks to get super glue stuck on your fingers, but getting in your eye is a whole lot worse. Anyway, that's a story for another time. One thing I just quickly tested that I didn't need to was that the LEDs I bought worked. Yep, unsurprisingly they work. Before assembling this sign, I wanted to add the switch to the LED lights, just to make sure this all works before putting it inside the sign. I did this by cutting the wires, stripping each side and adding a shovel connector to each side that I'd stripped. This is so I could remove and reinstall the switch easily. I'm no electrician, I just grabbed the pliers lying around to crimp the shovel connections. I'm hoping someone in the comments will tell me a better way to do this in the future. And of course, I need to make sure it works. Yep, didn't stuff it up this time. This is the laser we're going to use to cut out the SpaceX sign. We'll go over the specs whilst you watch it cut. I'm using a CO2 laser to cut out the sign parts. This is a 150 watt laser and the bed size is 1200 by 900 millimeters. I'll put the imperial conversion on screen for you fraction loving Americans. Let's have a look at the parts. Ooh, get the big other piece out, leave the rest out. We'll go through. Oh, it's gonna look nice. It's gonna sit nicely there. Got a bit of prep to do, let's get to that. Let's go over all the pieces we've cut out on the laser cut. First we got the front, then the backing that holds all the pieces in place. The 2mm translucent white layer. The back of the sign with the keyhole mounting points and where we're going to put all the screws in to pull the sign together. Can't have the box without the side walls. This one has the switch hole and the hole for the electricity to go through. That's the other wall. And last but not least, the 2 small side walls. This is the front of the sign and this is the cutout part. We're going to use this P to align the internal part on the white translucent layer so that that's perfectly centered. But we have this extra cutout that I'm going to give away to someone in the comments. So I'll choose someone at random who comments where Crew Dragon missions take off from which launch pad it is. Right, so first thing we'll do is start by starting the front. We won't peel off the front layer. So what we need to do is put the backing layer on here so we can put the translucent layer in, and we've got the positions to put the support mounts in. So let's hope they all fit. Do they fit? Oh, they fit like a glove. So we need to peel these layers, so we'll just quickly peel those layers and stick this down. Now with an MDF jig, which we've also cut just to make sure we get equal spacing around this edge when we stick it down, because we want it to be nice and flush. These little holes are for the side walls to stick onto. All right, so don't forget to comment for these. This tape can be pesky to get off sometimes. It's a gloss layer. I don't really like to use gloss. You get dirty fingerprints. The other side's much nicer. It's a matte finish. So I'm going to peel all this off. Now I've peeled off all the backing tape. We're going to leave the front on to keep it protected whilst we're working on the sign. That can be the very last thing that comes off. The next thing we do is put this next layer on. This is a nice, really strong adhesive tape, and that's going to go on this way, and it'll perfectly align the jig and everything. It's going to be perfectly aligned for the white translucent part. It's going to be perfect for it's just going to be perfect. It's probably perfectly aligned by using this MDF jig. So first thing we're going to do here is peel off this sticky tape. This one's a nightmare too. That should be actually easier. Yeah, it's just these catch corners you get really good at getting this stuff off. You also destroy your nails. That's why I use a blade sometimes, but if you can get it in one piece, it just comes nicely off like that. This stuff's extra tacky and it cures really strong. You'll pretty much not be able to separate these pieces when they go together. Now when using the MDF jig, I realised that it was warped because it's so thin, so I should have made the jig a bit thicker, and here's me fiddling around on trying to figure out better ways to do this. First I attempted to tape the jig on, but this doesn't work. After fiddling around for a little while, I realised that the tape wouldn't work, so I got my level out to use as a hard edge to mount the MDF against to make it easier to put the sign backing on. And now putting the white translucent layer, as you can see, it fits in perfectly. We're going to flip it over because we need to put the inside of the P on there, so we need to find the P. There it is, and I'm looking for the insert of the P. Looking all around, can't see it. Oh, you can see it on the screen, but I have no idea where it is. Just searching around like an idiot. And I finally located. Just remove the back tape and stick that on there. And once the P is removed, you'll see how the sign will look. It's going to look great. Oh, I need to put some of the really strong adhesive tape so that the translucent layer doesn't come off. You really wouldn't need this much of it, but better safe than sorry. And now we can just put it in. And that's not going anywhere now. Look at that. It's looking great. Now to test to see how the light diffuses through. Looks great. This is yellow because the tape's still on there and a yellow light, but this will look white in the finished product. We're going to leave this coating on. We'll take that one off and then we'll start working on the walls. Now the long cuts will really get tolerance issues, so see how that's slightly off, but down this end it's perfectly flush. So when it was cutting, it probably expanded and come off, but we might have to reduce the size of these slots on just these two end pieces. So we're going to recut those and probably reduce the footings so that we've got a little bit of wiggle room, but we'll just keep the ends the same. They look like they're fitting perfectly, so we're not too fussed about that. I've recut the side walls and we've rounded the edges so that they can slip in and not get caught. And if we line them up perfectly, you'll see that they're about 1.5 mil shorter now. So, you know, 1/20th of an inch or whatever it is for Imperial. And I've just done the same thing here just to help it make it slide in because that was catching as well. And when I've done it, it just fits in much better. There we are, look at that, perfect. We're going to glue up. We'll take these out because they can go in last. We're going to glue the walls in. We're going to use a bit of tape to hold them in place whilst they set. Now I've got this acrylic glue which works really well. It's a nice clear set, but I really don't want to use that. I'm just going to use standard cheap super glue from local Officeworks, which would be the equivalent of Staples in the US. I instantly regretted using the super glue as it dried. It left some little white residue in places. Nothing you can see on the outside, but I should have used the clear glue. Whilst that's drying, we'll countersink these holes in the backing. Don't mind the mess. I ran out of space in the office to put the drill press. Now I could set a certain depth, but I was just eyeballing this and ended up fine in the end. Now we have all the holes countersunk, flip it over and have a look at the back. I've laser cut this very fine circle here to match the caps to go on the keyholes just to stop any light bleed. So we're just going to glue those on. Now the caps have glue on them, let's put a bit of weight on there, put this aside, wait for it to dry, and we'll focus on the LED light installation. The LED light's going pretty simply, just peel off the 3M tape and stick it on the inside of the wall, just ensuring it's reasonably straight and it's tucked tight into the corners. Let's clumsily put the switch into place. Just clicks in perfectly. I seem to love testing the switch. Yes, it still works. And now to plug in the shovel connectors. I don't advise having it plugged in whilst you're doing this, but obviously I did. You have to cut the cord because the power brick's not small enough to feed through the hole. Just measured I had enough wire and just gave myself a little bit extra than that. The blade to cut it and feed it back through the hole. Wanted the wires to stay out of the way, so I just got some black electrical tape and taped them all down. Now this looks a bit messy, but it's inside and it does the job well. So I'm going to separate the two wires and we're going to strip them back on both sides so that we can reconnect them. We're going to chuck a bit of heat shrink on all of it to make sure the connections stay well connected and are protected from any short circuiting. Again, I'm no electrician, just like Johnny builds, I'm winging it. Put on 2 little bits of heat shrink and then a bigger piece to go over the top, and you'll see in a second I grab the heat gun and shrink them up. It's quite satisfying using heat shrink, watching them get smaller and hides all the crap work you've done. And finally, I don't really want this big black piece hanging down the bottom, so we're going to tuck it up inside the sign. When I was doing this, it reminded me of trying to re-thread a hoodie that you pulled the string out of. Onto the final glue up, just gluing in the support legs so that we can screw the back on. Again, I'm using the crap glue, as I mentioned a few times. Really should have used the other stuff, but it got the job done. And as always, just putting a bit of weight on there to help the glue set and have a rigid product in the end. I also really worried about light bleed, and I used a bit of black cork. And again, after I did this, I realized I could have just run black electrical tape and would have had the same outcome and way less messy, but here we go, black cork. Probably because I wanted the satisfying wiping shot. We've got 3 things left to do. We've just got to remove this coating, screw this on here, and then the last thing we'll do is we'll peel the front. Let's go for it. Use that trusty blade. Look at that, beautiful. Now, put that on there. And the good thing is, it's easy to orientate because they're not in the exact same position on each side. And all those threads line up perfectly with the holes. This one should be much easier to peel. I shouldn't have used that super glue. You can see the wire coming through and its reaction with the acrylic, so next time I'll use the actual right glue. LTT screwdriver, of course, to screw in all the screws. Got to get one of these, they're amazing. Oh, look at that, I've missed a countersunk hole. I'm gonna have to go do that now. Great work, Tom. I countersunk that hole and we're gonna put all the screws in. Before the final reveal, we just gotta find somewhere to hang it. I'm gonna put the sign here temporarily, which is in my downstairs workshop. You might see it also in the background of some future videos, and I'll get to see it all the time and it'll bring me happiness. I know there's a fan here, but it's a workshop and I think it's a good place for it. So easy thing is I got a laser cutter so I can see exactly how it'll look. We like it like about there, so we'll just put a little line here and use that as our guideline. All right. Now we can use a template. We'll use the bottom layer of that. No, I'm screwing it to that plan. We'll put the plan in the corner. Maybe we'll center it in the center of this. Just eyeballing, we can take it down. It's only a workshop, I'm not too fussed. So the first hole is there, and the second hole is there. Alright, we'll just put a little cross on that. I'm gonna get the trusty drill. Now when drilling into a wall, you gotta know if there's an electrical work behind there. I know it's a double brick wall and I'm not gonna drill through the brick, so we're right, but always check. So we want a little bit of a ledge so that the keyhole can slide over and hold that. Now peeling off the protective layer in the front, and now for the final reveal. This is the sign of its final resting place, and I have switched the lights off. This shot's not edited, and this is how it looks in the dark. Overall, I'm really happy with it. If I was to do it again, there's only a few things I'd do differently. I'd put a USB-C cable in there so we could remove this, and a battery pack inside. I think that'd make it great. A big battery pack, so you wouldn't have to charge it very often, but that would get rid of the ugly wire. You would have to recess it into the wall. But the overall build, it's very sturdy, and the backlight looks great, and overall very happy with it. If you like this, then you should check out some other content like us making a UV Zelda sign or distilling some oil from eucalyptus leaves. Anyway, love you to stick around and see what else we have in store in the future. See you in the next one.